Sai Ram. A journey or search with a spiritual significance and meaning is a pilgrimage. If one has the slightest inclination to seek the spiritual path, Prasanthi Nilayam will attract him or her over and over again. For after all, isn't the ultimate goal of a spiritual journey Prasanthi, or supreme peace? That is why it is important that whenever we visit Prasanthi Nilayam, we treat it as a pilgrimage. One sweet memory is when Swami called us for an interview when we were in middle school. We asked Swami if he could sing in the Bhajan Mandir, and Swami was very happy and said yes to my brother and I. We were overjoyed by this amazing opportunity to sing in front of Swami. When we sat in the veranda and told the person in charge of the bhajans that Swami gave us permission to sing, the gentleman immediately said Swami has to tell me, otherwise you both cannot sing. My brother and I were heartbroken by the news, and we were praying to Swami to help us. Several minutes later, Swami with his beautiful form came to the veranda and told this gentleman, I have given permission for these boys to sing. Let them sing. We were overjoyed by this and grateful to Swami for allowing us to sing when we thought there was no hope. Swami also taught us the lesson of his omnipresence to us at the same time. This was very impactful for us at a young age. The story doesn't end there. We sang the bhajan Ramakrishna Prabhutu, and one line was too high for us, and we struggled a little bit on that high line. After the bhajan ended, my brother and I were feeling sad that we didn't sing that line properly. Swami again came out and stood right in front of us and said, Papam, I know that line was high for you, but you both sang with a lot of devotion. This is our loving Swami, always taking care of us and showing his infinite love to all of us, even when we mess up. It is important to continue to go to Prasanthi Nilayam to recharge our spiritual batteries. We all go to sporting events, concerts, and other things to satisfy our worldly happiness, but why not go to Prasanthi Nilayam to satisfy our spiritual happiness? Having gone there after Swami physically left his body, I can still feel a lot of spiritual energy and peace when I visit. It gives us all an opportunity to turn off our phones and contemplate on Swami by listening to the student bhajans, Vedas, and other cultural programs that happen there. I'm sure it will give you a lot of happiness and spiritual bliss when you visit. Jai Sai Ram.
What comes to mind when you think about Prasanthi Nilayam? And even though the thing right away we think about Swami's abode or we think about the peace and serenity that we get when we come, but we always get attracted and drawn back to our source of inner divinity. And so what keeps me coming back to Prasanthi is the ability to disconnect from the external world and be able to feel divinity all around.
Om Sri Sai Ram. So a question was asked, how does the environment of Prasanthi Nilayam facilitates spiritual growth and development? At the second World Youth Conference, Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai Baba spoke about Prasanthi Nilayam, which translates to the abode of supreme peace. He described it as a spiritual center and a place where individuals could come and experience inner peace, spiritual growth, and a sense of community. According to his teachings, Prasanthi Nilayam was not just a physical location, but a spiritual haven where seekers could connect with the divine and find guidance for leading a life of righteousness and service. And he stopped right in front of me. And I extended my hand with the ring, offering it to him. Swami looked at me straight into my eyes, and then he looked at the ring. And he placed his hands on my hands on the ring itself. And he said, yours? And I am, with all this excitement, just happy for Swami touching the ring. I said, yes, Swami, this is mine. Swami then looked at me. He took his hand and he rolled it over the ring, allowed the ring to roll a couple times in my hands, and then he clasped my hands together and he told me, get rid of the why. And I wasn't sure what he meant, but I was just happy that he was speaking to me. Only after the program, I went to my room and I listened. I started to think what Swami had said. And then I started to think what the words were, yours. So I started to spell the word Y-O-U-R-S. And then I started to think, take the Y off. And what does it mean? Ours. And that was a lesson that Bhagwan has given me. To know that nothing is mine, but we must submit everything to Him. Because the word now, from yours, it's spelled ours.
Sairam, why is it important to visit Prasanthi Nilayam? And how does that energy support me in my daily life? For me, this land is incredibly sacred. This is the land where Swami, the avatar of our age, has walked, talked, granted wishes, answered prayers, and performed incredible miracles. For us to be here and share short of a miracle itself. Swami has always said that he is our divine mother. At the end of the day, no matter if it's a day or several months or several years, we all always return to our parents' home. Because that is our origin place, our place of birth, and it is our greatest source of comfort.
Sairam, I always love to come to Puttaparthi because it energizes me so much. I feel like a sponge every time I come that was dry and it has filled with the water and it's gushing over. Yes, Swami is everywhere. And yes, weekly bhajans, intermittent retreats and workshops that last a weekend, they give you some water for your dryness of heart. But when you come to Puttaparthi, it is like a waterfall. Like the Niagara Falls can compare to water dripping from your tap. And I'm here in front of my favorite place, or one of my favorite places in Puttaparthi, in front of the meditation tree.
Shri Sairam. When I think of Prasanthi Nilayam, I evoke a sense of tranquility and unity. It is a sanctuary where the essence of peace flows deep down into everyone's hearts. Prasanthi Nilayam also evokes a deep connection with the divine, embracing the teachings of love and selfless service imparted by Sri Satya Sai Baba. The ashram serves as a beacon for spiritual clarity and allows for oneself to align on the path of righteousness and enlightenment. Sri Satya Sai Baba's teachings of unconditional love, selfless service, and the unity of all faiths are the core teachings that stand as the basis of making Swami's life my message. I always work on practicing to truly love everyone without any conditions, and the means by which I can follow this is through selfless service, which means helping others with my 100% ability and full capacity without any expectation for receiving something for my good actions. And unity of faiths encourages mutual respect and global harmony. By practicing these values every day and everywhere, we build a global unity and elevate our spiritual consciousness.